Okay, so here comes to the third example I would like to share with you. Like the previous two, this is also a concluding paragraph, and it's taken from the essay called Leading into the World of the Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is a very interesting book, even though I just watched the show in London. Let's have a look at the original one. To summarize, this book is an investigation diary of Christopher. I'm not quite sure to summarize this book. I feel this is slightly redundant if you just want to say that, okay, this book is actually an investigation. It's Christopher's investigation diary. But it's okay if you want to retain it. And then you say, we went through the ups and downs of the 15-year-old boy who seems to be way too mature for this age. That's fine. And then you say the death of Wellington and then unimaginable pain between his parents and his neighbors make us curious about the aftermath of all the main characters. This is also fine, but I'm slightly concerned about this between his parents and his neighbors. I'm not 100% sure what this means. Are you talking about the pain experienced shared by his parents and neighbors, or what? So this part is not, crystal clear to me. And then you say, through writing letters to the characters in the book, we documented our first impression of the character and how our views transformed as the narrative progressed. That's absolutely fantastic. Without a doubt, this activity also enabled us to comprehend the relationship between the figures in a more approachable way. I think the main part of this sentence is absolutely fine. If I were you, I wouldn't include this booster called without a doubt, because I feel that, okay, if you look at this main sentence here, you say this activity also enable us. You use the word also. This suggests that this part is kind of secondary, is of secondary importance. But then you try to reinforce the importance of it by saying without a doubt. So there seems to be a conflict between this without a doubt, and the also there. So I wouldn't include without a doubt this sentence connector here, but you can retain it if you wish. And then you say during this activity, or in this activity, we indeed. Again, I don't quite get why you want to have this indeed here. Why don't you just say we knew, we learned more thoroughly about the plot of the story and put ourselves into the shoes of the character. That's fine. Then you say obviously. Again, I think obviously, again, is a booster, and I'm not quite sure about the role or the purpose why you want to include this sentence connector or this modifier, maybe I should say this modifier, this adverb, this modifier here. You say, obviously, composing letters to Christopher's father and mother and Mrs. Shears allowed us to embody our imagination as if we were conversing with the character in the novel. This is all very good. Various intriguing and enlightening activities. I think it's a bit too much for you to complement this activity. You can use all different expression to say how good this activity is. But I think it's a bit too much to me. And then you say, it seemed that we went through the journey of the bittersweet life with them. That's good. And you say, because of this activity, we observe a new way for you, the readers, to explore the world inside the novel. So we can assure that you will benefit a great deal from this activity. Okay, if this is the main purpose, you want to recommend something to your reader, then the way that you present the ideas here is all fine. But let's have a look at the revised version that I gave you. Again, I would argue that it's not perfect, but just for your reference. I say the curious incident of the dog in the night time. I try to recap the book title to refresh the reader's memory. It's an investigation diary of Christopher, the protagonist of the novel. By reading it, we went through the ups and downs of this 15-year-old boy who seems to be way too mature for his age. Maybe I can use this, and then I say, the death of Wellington and the unimaginable pain experienced by him, Christopher's neighbors, and his parents made us curious about the aftermath of these characters. So I modify, this between your parents and neighbor to experience by the parents and neighbors, and also by Christopher himself, because I think that he is a narrator here, but at the same time he is the main character of this novel. So his psychological state should be the focus of your discussion. And then I say, by writing the letter to them, we documented our first impression of them and how our views changed as the narrative progressed. I sort of copied what you say, because you have done a fantastic job here. And then I say, the task not only allowed us to know better about the plot, but also enabled us to comprehend the relationship between the figures in a more approachable way. I sort of dissect what you talk about and just restructure, what you said in a slightly different manner. And finally, I say, by writing these letters, we were also able to embody our imagination as if we were actually conversing with the characters and witnessing their bittersweet lives. So I think that, if you look at these two sentences that I wrote, based on what you wrote, of course. So I sort of arguing that there are two learnings, maybe I should say that, two learnings I had. The first one is that it's more to do with the plot, more to do with the understanding of the story. The second one is it's more to do embodiment of the imagination. Okay? And finally, I conclude this paragraph in this sentence here. The project shows us a new way to explore the world inside the novel, and the experience was utterly interesting and fruitful. Obviously, the very last sentence was added by myself, but you can see the stance that I take is slightly different from yours. Okay, you, the author of your paragraph, it seems that you are explicitly recommending this activity to your reader, but in my version, I do it slightly differently. You can see that I sort of subtly reveal that kind of recommendation, but I didn't explicitly say that. So rather, I simply say that, okay, this project was, show us the great way, a new way to explore novel.